Before I start my video, guys, I have made a poll on my community tab. Please click the link at the top of the comments. I have pinned a message with a link to this or in the description of this video, and give your feelings on the last Blitz Poll weekend that we just had, whether you loved it, liked it, you're neutral towards it, disliked it or hated it. Please also comment anything in particular that you liked or disliked about that weekend in that poll itself. Not the comments on this video, but in that poll itself. I will be passing this on to the Players Council, and obviously the Players Council talk to Scopely, so Scopely will be getting the information that you put forward here. Thank you very much to anyone who does help out with that poll. Now on to the video. Hello survivors, and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be doing the last stage of the bonus torches roadmap. This is going to be a roadmap that's going to be up for the entire week, and it drops a lot of torches, and it does have a bag that drops if you complete the entire act that has the potential to get huge amounts of torches. Obviously we don't know the odds within this bag. Please give us the odds of bags and roadmaps, but you get some torches. It's going to be great. You're generally speaking going to be getting somewhere in the region of 50 to the 90. I would say that 50 to 90 is probably the biggest amount of odds, so you should be able to hit the 550 torches battle pass mission without too much of a problem if you do it every single day. You do also get, I believe, 15 total if you just do the 3 stages, because you get 5 per stage on top, so you're going to be getting quite a lot of torches regardless, even if you don't get good RNG in the bag. Now the last stage itself, some people have been having some problems with, and I do like to run through these roadmaps quite a bit. I did it on my live stream. I did use a very powerful just raid team pretty much. My teams generally have quite heavy amounts of control in them anyway on my raid attack teams. I have 3 characters that all have heavy hits and control in their kit, with Priya, Princess and Mercer. The percentage damage of those characters is extremely high because I've got them fully modded, full vet ring, good weapons. I've got some team player weapons in there as well, and I've also got characters that are going to boost their rushes to get it quicker. If you haven't got fully decked out attack teams like that, you are going to struggle a little bit against these defense teams. So we're going to be building a couple of different teams that are mainly going to be defensive teams that are going to just do damage over time. Generally speaking, that's the easiest way to take down these roadmaps if you are punching up, where it's more difficult than your roster realistically can do. You can punch up with defensive teams because you've got survivability and you build sustain, control, basically everything except just pure damage. Pure damage against more powerful roadmaps than your roster can handle is generally not a good idea, because you just don't have the damage output. You're going to get annihilated because you're going to have to make your characters to what is called glass cannon, where they're all attack, no defense, and they'll just get one shot a lot of the time. So we'll run through the basics on the types of characters you want to take in on this roadmap. First of all, we're going to look at the leaders, and I would say the leader that you want to take for your team, so the leader that you have control over adding, is generally going to be a defensive leader to add defense to your team. Angel is a character that was free to play. The bonus of Angel is she has actually quite good control, means there's not going to be any first turn actives. On roadmaps, there generally isn't first turn actives anyway, because the actives aren't fully leveled a lot of the time, but at the same time she gives a defensive boost to all characters, which is great. So it isn't just only melee or only ranged or only particular traits, it's everybody, so everyone's going to get a defense boost here. Eric is great, of course. If you had him in the 6-star era, you know he's got heals, he's got a very good defensive leader skill. Lydia pretty much the same as Eric, where she also adds a revive like Eric does, and these 2 characters are great in terms of just adding defensive stats, also the revive and heals. Ezekiel, again, rainbow lead, so he's going to add quite a lot to a lot of people. I think it's the HP to everybody and defense to ranged characters, or the other way around, but he also adds quite a lot of heals. Having sustain, having a good leader skill, it's great. Now if you are on someone who has a very, very limited roster, you could take someone like 5-star Shiva All Out War. She has a 30% defense boost to all melee characters, and she also gives AP on attack, which is actually quite nice. The thing is, if you take any 5-star characters on this, you 100% have to have a 6-star shield or above pretty much, and even the 6-star shield will get hit extremely hard, and you have to keep that 6-star shield healed every turn. We will go over characters that will be able to do that as well though. So in terms of the leader bonus, mainly aim for a defensive one for your leader. I would say the next 2 slots, a good way to go would be adding 2 forms of control. So an obvious character would be Princess as an S-class character if you have her. If you don't have her as an S-class character, you can get her as a 6-star character in the League store right now. You can get her as a 5-star, level up to a 6-star, and even as a 6-star, she is amazing. The control she has on her active is well worth upgrading in the meantime to just use her for her active skill for raids and obviously roadmaps like this. Other characters that are great, Douglas, obviously, he has Guardian Shield, which is awesome, but he also has an active that has control, he has a rush that has control and heals. Great. Stephanie, not fantastic, but if you are massively limited, she has got an active that does impair and she has got a rush that does AP drain, so you can control things a little bit. Cole is good, obviously first turn active, you can control Frost Shield, he is in here just for that first turn, just to get him out of the way, and then obviously try and rely on other things afterwards. Priya, again, we're trying to go as low as possible, and she does a lot of control, but you have to have a bit of an upgraded weapon in terms of AP on attack and so on and so forth, and she can control with Confuse. And remember, any form of control on roadmaps is 100% guaranteed. There are no resists, so you're going to always hit that. So I'd say maybe 2 of these characters would be quite good. I think a combo of Princess and Douglas is great just because you're getting the heals, or Cole and Princess. I'd say Princess is a staple just because she's such an important character and she's one of the best controlling characters in the game and quite accessible. Like I said, she is in the League store right now. Now, the next slot, I would say you want at least one of these types of characters, not specifically these 5, but one of these types in terms of damage over time or guaranteed takedowns based on things like Infection with Minerva. We'll go look at Wang Fa. I'd say he's the best roadmap character you can get. Even as a 6-star character, he's so influential. As long as you've got heavy forms of control with Wang Fa, eventually everyone's going to drop. It doesn't matter if they've got heals over time, doesn't matter about anything except cleanses. So if you come up against a character like Mercer on one of these teams, I don't think he's in this roadmap at all. You want to make sure he doesn't ever use his active skill because that would cleanse the bleeds. And then obviously you've got Dayu, who's got quite nice rush in terms of control, but also has Infection on her active. Moira, as long as you're hitting them crits, you're getting hemorrhage on every character that you hit. Again, we're down to the 5-stars and 6-stars at this point, and again, to protect these characters, you want to have a shield. You have to have a shield. But these characters are offensive, but you make them extremely tanky. If you look at all the mods on them, pretty much every single one is adding HP or defense. We're getting a bit of a bonus to attack on Jie Feng, but it's because for whatever reason, her weapon had attack percentage as the base stat. I still don't know why that is the case. And last but by no means least, we have characters that either have sustained healing or defensive buffs. We have Bruce Allen Cooper, who I think was a League store character a couple of seasons ago. He also has actually quite a lot of control, so this character is quite nice. If you already have a character that does heals, for instance, Eric as a leader, this character is going to do quite a good job. Maggie, Life and Death, again, lots of heals coming there. She is also a command, so if you want to utilize her heal, you will obviously have to do more basic attacks than commanding other people. Same deal with Rick, no heals there, but you do get defensive buffs. He is obviously a 6-star character to get the best out of him. And then we have like the 5-star goats. Basically, Kate is great because she can obviously bypass the frost that we're going to come up against now because she's got focus. She means also things like taunt, if anything goes off like that, isn't going to be a problem as much. And she has heal over time. She does give an attack boost, but we're mainly trying to build a team around just sustained damage rather than just the impact nuke damage that you can build with the kind of teams I was talking about earlier on that I completed the roadmap with. And then we've got Ezekiel, exactly the same sort of deal. One of the best 5-star characters, sustained healing, 60% buff to defense. It does get the attack buff in there again, but doesn't matter so much. But it's mainly the defense buff from Zeke. He is one of the best 5-star characters out there. If you don't have him, I'd still say he's worth picking up because he's great in 5-star arenas as a defense leader, and you just never know when you need this sort of character. He is even amazing in Faction Assault because if you get that buff to actually go off with certain offensive characters in those teams, you know, you get Rampage Priya with a 60% attack boost. It's just insane. Now, you might have one more slot if you only go for like Princess on the team. So you might want to go for a shield, you might want to go for a command to get certain rushes off quicker, or Dr. Stevens to just have lots of AP gain based on his active and rushing. So the last slot, you can either go for more control or someone who's going to enable people to get rushes off quicker, or protect your 5-stars and 6-stars if you are taking much lower level characters. And then lastly, we do have the support leader. Again, I think Mercer's probably the best one you can take in terms of he's guaranteed to stun everybody except Trader, because the Trader on the last stage, he obviously can resist the leader skill, but everyone else will get stunned. This means you get a free turn to gain AP. You don't have to use your actives. You can get like sort of a chance to recover some turn or time for one turn, and that's great. Carly is good because she actually gives full team AP gain. So if you are using a defensive leader for your leader, Carly's a rainbow leader that gives everyone AP on attack, and that means you're still going to get third turn rushes and rushes quickly. And then the same can be said for the other three characters in terms of Ben and Davey. They're rainbow leads, and Ezekiel will only give it to melee characters, but if you don't have him yourself and you need the buffs, you know, you can use leaders that were from the other positions that I said in these slots as well. So the team I'm going to be using is going to be this team. It is a full range team, and that gives us bonus with the items that we can take on the stage. Same would happen with the full melee team. We'll talk about the items in a moment, but this is going to be the team I'm taking. We've got Angel as that rainbow leader. She was accessible. A lot of people should have this character. If you don't, Eric would work just as well in this position. So Eric would work exactly the same. Actually probably be better to a certain extent in terms of the leader buff, but the character actually being able to survive, not so much. We've got Princess and Douglas from the controlling characters. We've got Wang Fa from the offensive tanks, basically, in terms of he's the guy who's going to be getting all the takedowns. And then we've got Slater as just that extra addition. Slater also has the added bonus of having revives, so as long as you stop the enemy Wang Fa from rushing and giving you crosshairs, and obviously any takedowns at that point, you will be able to pick people up with Slater, so it won't be as much of a problem. Now, I know a lot of people have complained in the past about my videos. Sometimes I use a bit too more powerful weapons. I'm using some very basic weapons here. You can see Angel has got this weapon where it's just 30% attack and some HP. It's mainly for the AP on attack that I'm using her, just so I'm getting her rush off quite often. For the weapon for Wang Fa, we have just got a 28% defense weapon and a huge bonus to AP when attacking. It does give AP to him at the beginning of each wave, but that isn't that big a deal. It's just so I don't use an impair on defense weapon. And the same can be said for Douglas, where it's just a crit weapon, so he's critting more often, and that's pretty much all he's going to get. That's the main reason I've got this, is just so he crits more often. When it comes to the weapon that I've got on Slater, I think it's just a basic weapon. I don't have anything special on it. As you can see, it's just his base weapon. And then Princess's weapon is the best weapon I've got here, and she is an S class. But what I'm most likely going to do is I'm most likely not going to rush with her, just to show you her as a controlling character rather than the rushing character. Just obviously with your 6-star princess, if you have her, you want to be rushing with her on characters that are controlled, so then they're not going to gain AP, or if they do gain AP, they are controlled already, they're taunted or whatever, and they're not going to be rushing afterwards. Now when it comes to battle items, I would take stamina boosters for all ranged teammates getting 50% defense for 4 turns. Then we'll use nerve gas to do attack down. This is particularly important because we do have a Priya and a princess in the same line, so we can obviously nerve gas those characters quite easily. Smelling salts is just so we can get revive potential. As long as we don't have Wang Fa rush, smelling salts shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just an extra sort of saving grace. And then the high replenish is mainly for the trader on the last stage, just in case I do need to heal my characters up so the infection gets healed. So for this test run, I obviously am taking the big boy himself, Mercer. Thank you very much to Noah for putting him up. As you can see, full control. I've got 2 forms of control on that first turn. I guess to a certain extent, the days does not matter at this point, but it's good for the next one with the trader, where you can hit 2 potential control forms and hopefully one of them hits. I wouldn't use any battle items the first turn, the ones that give debuffs and buffs, just because you don't need to. We are just going to do attacks. Just make sure, it doesn't actually matter who you attack, because none of the weapons can proc, nothing like that. So we're just going to get off attacks to get everyone some AP. And then at the next stage, we have to decide what we're going to do in terms of control, that sort of thing. And I would say the best thing you can do is definitely just princess control the Frost straight away, and then hope for the best on who else you hit. As long as you hit one of these 2 characters on the other 2, you're generally okay, because these are the other problematic characters. You're just going to have to rely on forms of control to stop them otherwise. The active skill on the princess on this is not raised, so it's got an initial cooldown of 4, which is actually quite good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the attack down on the line. Also going to do defense up on my entire team, and then we are actually going to attack rush the commands just to make sure we get this going. And I'd say the priority targets here are probably these two characters. Well, basically everyone except her. If she does do her rush, it will take down someone, but at least we can pick them up with smelling salts. Everyone else is a problem. You've got to control everybody, and you've got to, you know, get everything going. So we're just gonna see how it goes. Obviously, we have got the guaranteed control with Mercer when we need it as well, so that's pretty good. We're just going to keep going, and again, like I said, I'm not going to attack with the princess right now because I would be able to take out a line most likely. I know not everyone's got a fully decked out, maxed out princess, so I'm just going to do basic attacks with her. Still going to do quite a lot of damage, but it's not going to be as good as what you potentially could do. Now, what you'll notice is I've got guardian shields everywhere, which is really obviously beneficial. And we're mainly just going to be relying on the sustained damage. Now, something you probably have noticed is my princess has been dazed because she was getting basic attacked by Priya, which is obviously a problem. I could heal right now, but because the heal of the Douglas is a control form, I'm going to wait until the taunts run out on these three characters. This character is going to rush, probably take someone down, but it doesn't matter. I will just pick them straight back up because we have got the active reviver Slater, and it might hit a guardian shield. We'll see. It doesn't like hit Angel. And that is a problem, but at the same time, it's no big deal. She's there to sort of tank. And then again, now we're going to rush and just get some control in. And who are we going to hit on this? We are going to hit not this character. So this is where we look and see if we have anything that actually stops anything. If we don't, we make sure we 100% have the attack down on the character, which we already do. We have defense up on my characters still, so it's not a problem. And we're just going to have to basically take the hit here. And that's just the way it goes. I can just do some basic attacks, maybe get an AP drain if you've got AP drain mods on somebody, and it's not going to be the case here. So one character's going to get taken out, and it looks like it's going to be, oh no, Mercer. Enemy got stunned as well, and at this point we're good. We're just going to keep getting everything going. That's nice. We just don't want this rush going off. That's a big problem if it does go off. It looks like it is actually going to go off. There's not actually too much I can do about it. Oh, I can command this guy. I actually messed up. I attacked Frost with Mercer, and he could have potentially impaired him. So be careful who you attack. You just got to make sure you stop that heal going off. You can see that she's going to rush. You can take something that stops rushes if you want. We're going to give a defense boost. We're going to do the attack down. The rush might hit quite hard. We have got the rush of, waiting of one character. There we go. We do have someone taken out. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick her straight back up, and we're going to now heal because we need to get that heal going. And we'll just it shouldn't be too long. It shouldn't be too long. The hemorrhage should be keep it on going, and we did the rush of Slater perfectly because obviously we just stopped the taunt of Princess doing anything. And we can see the controls back up. Got to control two characters, so we're going to keep the control going. Oh, we managed to hit both of these characters, which is great. If we didn't hit that one, we could do the active of Douglas again, or we could do the rush of Mercer. And we're going to get to a point, I think, where we either take them all out or there might just be Lily left. We'll see. Okay, this is fine, this is fine. So at this point, we want to try and heal up some characters. Get some... We need to see who we can actually hit properly. I mean, she'll give HP if I attack her, but it might still be worth it. Is he controlled? I think I just missed... Oh no, he's still controlled, so we're actually fine here. We'll just get the rushes of some people, and then we'll probably just defend with everybody else, if I'm honest. The good thing about Mercer as well is if you do get hit by the rush of Wangfar, you can do his active later on, so just to cleanse the hemorrhage, which is the problem. And then we need to... We're going to risk it. He is going to get impaired. Is it a 3-turn? It is a 4-turn, obviously, the 3-turn. We didn't need to do that, but whatever. He's going to get taken down the next turn. He should at least. Oh, it's so close. Now I have to control him again. That's a tough hit. Or I could let him revive. Probably not. Probably not. So at this point, who do I think my control is? I guess it's actually Mercer's, but the best one to just use. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. And then we can just do basic attacks. He will be taken out now. So it's slow but steady with these sort of teams. Slow but steady. All of my characters have very defensive setups. Now again, the next stage, everyone dazed, everyone stunned. We only hit the daze on him. And he has got a 1 out of 8 as well. So initial cooldown of 3 on the infection. So he's not going to be as much of a problem. I would say the character you want to take out first is... it's actually hard to say. You just make... as long as you hit a hemorrhage on this guy, you should be okay. He's going to resist some stuff. Is he going to... He got hemorrhage. So if you hit the hemorrhage early on this guy, they will generally just be taken out eventually. Again, same sort of deal. Don't worry too much about doing... like actives that do control. You just want to get things going, get things pumping. Now we want to control characters. I would say a good control characters are these two with the normalize, just because she'll get taken out instantly and he won't be able to do his blocking thing, although you're probably not doing much damage anyway. We're just going to control over here. We're going to hit him as well, and we're just going to keep going with it. And at this point I don't think they have much damage, but what we're going to do is we're just going to do it for the sake of it. Everything. Just do it for the sake of it. You could do the... I could have done the Mercer lead skill. Probably would have actually been a good idea. Just to stop the bleeds. Should we do that anyway? I guess we can. We'll do the bleed cleanse for everybody. I need to heal because I've got 15% infection. And you can see just everyone just staying alive. Staying alive. We want to make sure the active skill doesn't go off of Kapoor. And she's going to rush. So we want to control her. Oh no, she's already got controlled. Well. Oh well. Oh well. We're good. We're still good. Slow but steady. Slow but steady. We're going to do this just for to stop this from happening. I'm going to... Is anyone controlled? He actually got... Okay, I'm going to have to rush here. Okay, that's fine. So this will get blocked. The taunt will get blocked because of Slater's skill. We'll just go with this. And we'll go with this. To try and... Now we've got to mainly look after Trader, because these guys are all going to drop next turn. Pretty much. And he's just going to start rolling off infection and stuff now, which is obviously going to be a problem. Let's think. Just take him out just to get rid of him. I could have someone taken down now, because I'm not sure what the infection situation is like. Let's see. 175% on Slater. Looks like we're good. She's going to heal. I could have maybe done my heal reduction with Wangfar. That would have been a smart idea. But we weren't too smart on that one. We're just going to... It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. Eventually you're just going to get through it. Now, you did see I didn't rush on Princess once, so I didn't get the full power of Princess. I would mainly use that rush just to finish people off, not just to try and do huge amounts of damage, because you haven't got huge amounts of damage, pretty much. And that's how you get through it with that team. So all in all, guys, the roadmap is tough, obviously extremely tough. I would just say having as much control as possible is ideal. There are some items that you can use that also have control that are very useful. Items like knockout gas, where you can impair an enemy for 3 turns, extremely useful. You can also do a flashbang, which does a line of enemies getting stunned for 1 turn. Again, you could do both of these. So you just got a lot of control in your hands, especially if you have 2 controlling characters as well. This is ideal. And obviously you will want to be rushing with your princess. If you take her, I would say she's the most ideal character to take on this roadmap. Even if you've only got her as a 6-star, I would use her rush mainly as a finishing move or on people who are already controlled. If you do take a human shield, I would definitely say having one with impair on defense, stun on defense, having some level of control on that weapon is great. Simply put, roadmaps, no resists, control is king. As long as you've got control, you're generally going to be able to stop the opponent from doing what they need to do. Control on rushes is obviously better than actives, just because if your team is slow, actives only have a certain amount of uses. So make sure you do take some sort of control on rushes if you can. Princess active is great, but you can only use it 5 times on an S-class or a 6-star. So that's where a problem could occur. So best of luck on completing the roadmap, guys. It is extremely tough. That is the end of my video. I hope it was useful for you in some way. Best of luck. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.